Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. That quote had guided me through everything I built. But somewhere along the way, I forgot it. They told me I was wrong, that my code wasn't scalable, that I didn't know what I was doing because I simply didn't go to university. So I hired over 100 engineers, most with degrees, and built a massive team, only to watch it all collapse. In this video, I'm going to tell you what really happened, why I fired everyone, why I had to rewrite the entire game myself, and what it taught me about the lie of technical correctness. But before we get into the technical details, I want to say this. I know a lot of you watching may not be software engineers, and that's fine, because this isn't just about coding, it's about trusting yourself, even when the experts say you're wrong. It's about common sense versus complexity. It's about output versus credentials. And it's about how a high school dropout built better systems than an entire team of degree holders. I built the original game myself, clean and fast, no investors, no big team. It had a single static manager class, simple, clean and efficient. No fancy architecture, no layers of abstractions, just logic that worked. The game ran smoothly. Load times were instant, bugs were minimal, users were happy. But when I hired engineers, the real engineers, and they told me, this is bad practice, it's not scalable, this isn't how professionals write code. I didn't fight it. Maybe I was just the solo developer who got lucky. So I let them rebuild it. Big mistake. Before I even get into the full mess, I showed a small part of the code to an AI model. And here's what it said. This is some of the most bloated code I have ever seen. It makes zero sense, kills performance, and whoever wrote it shouldn't be allowed near a game engine. Yes, AI started swearing. It couldn't take it anymore. Now, jokes aside, here's actually what happened. They took my clean static class and replaced it with a singleton. Fine, whatever. But then, to build online multiplayer, they duplicated the entire codebase per player. Basically, every NPC had a brain of its own, even though it didn't really need one. They took the lightweight system that I built and turned it into a Frankenstein zoo of duplicated mono behaviors. The game was now running at 9 frames per second, even on flagship phones. Crashes, load screens that took forever, bugs multiplying like bacteria. And still, the same engineers looked me in the eye and said, this is technically correct. One even said, I would sign this code with my name. Yeah, maybe sign the crash logs too, because everything was broken. They couldn't see the problem, because in their world, if it follows the rules, it's right, even if the entire product collapses. Now here's the part that really broke my brain. I hired over 100 engineers, and the one who wrote the best code, the fastest, leanest, most stable code, was a high school dropout. He didn't write code to sound smart. He wrote code that worked. No useless architecture, no overcomplication, just clean execution. Meanwhile, the degree holders were writing code like they were writing academic papers, because the education system doesn't teach people how to ship products. It teaches them how to explain things in meetings. Let me be clear, this story isn't just about bad programming. It's about what happens when people start trusting theory over results. When they care more about looking smart than actually building something that works. It's about how dangerous it is to ignore your instincts. Just because someone has a degree or a title or a bunch of big words, it doesn't mean they know the work better than you. This happens in business, in marketing, in startups, in design, everywhere. The more people you add, the more the vision gets diluted. The more credentials in the room, the more common sense disappears. And if you're not careful, you will end up leading a team that sounds brilliant and ships nothing. If you're a founder, especially a solo founder, listen to me, you will be judged. People will question your methods. They will tell you your logic is wrong. But if your product runs better, faster and smoother, you are right. Don't let meetings override momentum. Don't let credentials override your clarity. Don't let fake complexity override functional simplicity. You don't need to be respected by engineers. You need your product to work. I doubted myself. I thought maybe I was just a solo developer who got lucky. I thought these guys with computer science degrees knew more than me, but they actually didn't. And it cost me millions of dollars to actually learn this lesson. And the moment I stopped listening and started trusting what I already knew, I rebuilt the entire game. And this time, it ran smoother. No crashes, no lag, and it actually shipped. So this is not a message only for developers. The message is, if you're building something and people are telling you it's not correct just because it's not conventional, look at the output, look at the performance, look at the results. That's the only truth that matters. So, subscribe if you're someone who's building from instinct and not instruction, because this isn't about university degrees. It's about clarity over credentials.